The free market does its job again, yet again, with coronavirus vaccine and Joe Biden's cancer research fraud. All of that right now. Now, I've been preaching this for the longest time. A lot of people, Milton Friedman, have been preaching this for a long time. That the free market, when left deregulated and not infringed upon, does some pretty freaking amazing things. Even in the time of crises, like COVID-19. Now, two companies, Pfizer and Moderna, have some pretty effective vaccines. Why? That's because Trump left the private industry of medicine, pharma, deregulated. Trump could have become a tyrant, and he could have seized control of this market, but he didn't. And that has produced some pretty amazing results. Pfizer, just to list off a couple things. Pfizer, 95% effective vaccine in its third stage trials with no serious side effects. 94% effective in older adults, the vulnerable population, which is good. That's great. Shattered all speed records for vaccine development, and we'll get into that later. But 94% effective in older adults. That is amazing because they're the most vulnerable to this disease. It is more fatal to them than you and possibly, or than I and possibly you. If we can get most of the people, or most of the vaccines, the 12.5 million vaccines that they're going to come out with, to the older population, we might have this thing solved. We might just have it solved. Now, I don't think there's 12.5 million people or old people in this country. Or certainly, if you add it up with people with underlying conditions, it doesn't go up to 12.5 million. Or it doesn't go down to 12.5 million. But it's a step in the right direction. If we can get enough vaccines for people with underlying conditions and old people, which we already have 12.5 million, we might just have this thing solved. Now, here's what I think we should do. With the 12.5 million vaccines, you give them to the people who are most vulnerable, old people, people with underlying conditions, all right? You give that vaccine to them, and you let us young people just get herd immunity because we're probably not going to die from it. And we should be good. I mean, we should be good. And we can hold off until we have enough, until we have 300 million vaccines. This seems pretty simple. The vaccine will be free. The federal government made a $1.5 or $1.95 million deal with Pfizer to make this vaccine free. And it's not only Pfizer, as I mentioned earlier. Moderna, 94.5% effective. Once again, when you have free market deregulated, great things happen. You now have two companies with a 90+% effective rate. That is unheard of. To put that into context, when I said shattered all speed records for vaccine development, let me put that into context. The fastest vaccine developed before this took 4 years. That was the mumps. Took 4 years. On average, vaccines take 10 to 15 years. The COVID vaccine started in mid-March, and we're almost done with third stage trials by mid-November. Sign me up to the free market, because that has worked wonders historically and now, obviously. Operation Warp Speed was supposed to deliver by January 2021. We have far exceeded that. Now let's get into Joe Biden cancer research. Now this guy is a proven fraud. He's been a fraud for a while. But this is just over the top. It is just over the top. Now we started this cancer research charity in 2017, because his son died of a brain tumor in 2015. So you'd think he'd hold this subject near and dear to him. No. It took $4,809,619 in federal aid in 2017 and 2018. He spent $3,070,301 on payroll, so that's already most of the money gone. Simon, didn't list his last name for some reason, former Pfizer executive, saw his salary double, and he was involved with the charity, of course. Daniel Carnival, chief of staff for Obama's cancer initiative, took home $258,207 in 2018 alone. Charity spent $56,738 on conferences, $59,356 on travel. Grants distributed $0 in cancer research. Now, how the heck are you going to take in $4.8 million for a cancer charity and put $0 towards actual cancer research? Either you are terrible, absolutely terrible with money management, or you're up to something, or you're up to corruption, or you're trying to put money in the pockets of your friends. And everybody talks about how Trump wants to put money in the pockets of his corporate friends, of his executive friends, of his wealthy friends. That may be true to some extent, but he doesn't deliberately start fake charities, taking $4.8 million from the federal government and put them in the hands of his friends. That is beyond corrupt. That is beyond terrible. How is your son gonna die of cancer in 2015? You start a charity, spend $0 out of $4.8 million in charity for cancer research when that's why it's launched. That makes no sense. Either, once again, you're absolutely terrible, you're terrible with money management, or you're corrupt. It's one of the two. It might be both. And we want to put this guy in charge of our healthcare system? Really? Great job, America. You really did a doozy on this one. Man, okay. This presidency is going to be hell. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm probably gonna be making a video tomorrow. Also, my video about the things I stand on should be coming out soon. It's just taking a while to upload. It's a pretty long video. But I do appreciate you guys for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, follow my Instagram page at Young Conservatives in America, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.